Okay.
All right. Welcome to the next session of the QGIS Open Day. This session is very exciting because Ethan's going to take us through a new community project, which I think is very cool. It's going to help us communicate a whole lot better, help us structure that communication so that not everything's just in one place, which I think is awesome. We're going to discuss some of the pros and cons. We're going to look at various solutions, of course, specifically open source, etc. And then Ethan's going to show us a little bit about how we can all revolt. I love that pun. Makes me really happy.
Yes.
All right, over to you, Ethan.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so let me switch over to the PowerPoint. And by PowerPoint, I mean Impress. Okay, so let the QGIS community revolt. A community proposal. So one might be asking, why a new community site? Well, it's 2022. It's not 2002. So yes, I'm looking at IRC and mailing lists. IRC is a bit old, limited, but it was definitely good for its time, especially way back in the early 2000s, late 90s, when it was primarily used. But nowadays, we have better and faster internet connections and better standards and stuff. So we can have some pretty rich text. We can have images, videos, and all sorts of stuff that IRC didn't originally support. And then there's also mailing lists. They can also be pretty limited depending on the client and the mail server, whether it supports HTML emails or if it supports just plain text. You can miss images and stuff. Then we have Matrix came along, which for most of what it's used for is pretty much a drop-in IRC replacement. So there's a lot of added features that Matrix does have. However, it's not quite what we're looking for.
They can also depending on.
I'm getting some feedback.
No, it's all right. I'm muted.
Matrix has a lot of features and bells and whistles that IRC doesn't. But for one thing, QGIS doesn't maintain the Matrix server that's maintained by OSGeo. Then we have Telegram. Telegram is certainly interesting. However, it is just a giant group chat, single-threaded, and is also a mess like Matrix, where it's just, giant single-thread, 50 bajillion various messages all in one place. So things can get lost very easily. Then we recently had a QGIS Open Day session regarding the now official QGIS Facebook page. And not everyone likes Facebook. Some people like to use it, and that's why the Facebook page is such big success for those who like to use it. A lot of people don't like the terms of service. It's also one of those big tech industries, so some people aren't too thrilled about using it. So also, why a new community? Some more reasons. QGIS has a very huge community, and this is a very good problem to have. One thing that's nice about open source projects is there's usually a really nice big community behind it. Another big open source project which has a big community would be Blender, which is a very large community. So we need something to house this community. And right now things are very cluttered with the single-threaded solutions like Matrix and Telegram. And we're also a multifaceted community. It's not just general QGIS help. We've also have PyQGIS, Python data science, cartography, plugins, core development. There's a lot of different sides to the QGIS community where a single thread really doesn't works that well. Then we have various user groups for various countries. And with being an international project, we have people who speak various languages. So what we need one place, one server that can house the QGIS community. something with multiple rooms and channels for various topics to keep things organized and to keep people's problems being lost and forgotten. Something with permissions and moderation to make it easier so we can also help group stuff and conversations. And, because the internet, you have those trolls. Something that's cross-platform. This is really important because we want everyone to be able to have access to it. We want it to especially be easy to use. And FOSS, or free open source software. I put it in italics because it's optional, but it's something to really consider. We would like something FOSS, but the idea, get lost. The important consideration is we want it FOSS because it is an open source project, but the purpose of this is to serve the community and not stroke Richard Stallman's ego. So first initial solution is the most popular solution that I've seen across multiple communities of various projects, and whether it's open source or not, and that's Discord. Discord has a lot of features. For one being, it's free. Discord does all the hosting. You don't pay a dime for the server. And you have one account, so you can access a whole lot of communities with that one account. There's numerous chat rooms, so you can organize the chat however you want. You can add and remove as want. There's custom emojis for all those people who love to use emojis for everything. There's message threads to help organize discussions more. There's integrated voice and video calls, which is really nice, especially for stuff like support. There's bots galore for stuff like GitHub updates, Reddit posts, a bunch of utilities, and other fun stuff. And then roles and role-based permissions for room access and moderation. And with Discord, you can access it anywhere and everywhere because they have apps for Linux, Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, web. You can view it, access it anywhere. But there's some issues with using Discord. First and foremost, it has abusive terms of service. They can read your private messages and content and delete your content without reason, ignores the do not track header, etc., etc. Then you have feature paywalls. They limit everyone to a basic free standard of features, and if you want more, like more custom emojis, animated emojis, better video audio quality, you have to pay for what they have, Nitro. It has limited customization because this is a closed source proprietary software. They control what you can and cannot do with it. It sells your personal info to help make money for all the free accounts, which is not exactly ideal. No third-party clients allowed. That goes back to the limited customization. And it's not FOSS. Yeah, hush. So now what? So we got rid of Discord because it's not free and open source software. Everything is on GitHub. Yeah, Richard Stallman's happy. Yeah. It's got a lot of the same features as Discord. There is self-hosting available. However, they do not recommend it because they want it to be a single server that's capable to be a Discord alternative. So they don't want 50 million self-hosted instances and it's all mixed around and it's not really comparable to Discord. The official hosting with Revolt will always be free. There are absolutely no feature paywalls, so everyone has the same set of features across all servers and is 100% donation funded, so they do not sell personal info and they never will. So here's some interesting features. Same as Discord, you have the multiple channels and rooms, image and file upload, integrated voice chat with video chat coming soon. It is a planned feature. Rich text formatting with Markdown and KTech, and KTech is not available in Discord, so that's an added perk. So you can have, full Markdown also isn't supported in Discord. So 2 big perks there. It is very bridgeable to other platforms. There currently exists bridge bots to Discord and Telegram. And there are many, many more features yet to come that are planned. Currently, Revolt is in beta. It is in active development, but is very, very stable and has been proven stable through the thousands and thousands of users who use it. More features. They have custom theme supports. You can customize Revolt how you like with all the colors. They allow custom clients, which allows for even more customization if you want. They are committed to a 100% free platform. Everything's available on GitHub. And commitment to privacy and security. As of now, there is no end-to-end encryption, but it is planned for the near future. That is a hot topic that they are presently working on. And now it's time for a little bit of demonstration to show what it looks like.
Do you mind if I ask some questions from the live chat?
We do have a spot for questions later. Some of the demo will probably answer those questions.
Absolutely, you're right. Cool. I'll wait. I'll pose them to you at the end.
Okay. So let's go over here. I want this guy. Okay, that's Revolt Lounge. Okay, so this is the Revolt client. This is currently the native Revolt client for Linux that I'm running. I'm running on Manjaro. And here we have on the left, make sure, can everyone see this?
Yes.
Okay. On the left, we have the list of servers that or communities that you are currently subscribed to. I have the Revolt Lounge and currently the QGIS one. You can create your own if you want. Here we have all the list of rooms in this community that are grouped in tabs. So you can hide all the ones that you don't want to see. And this is to help organize the chat so things don't get lost. So we'll start with the general tab. We have join leave. You can see when people join, when people leave. Community rules are very important, especially when it comes to dealing with trolls with the internet. So we have a list of rules. We have a whole page for announcements so people can see all the announcements for QGIS, like latest QGIS updates. Like I have this one here as an example, 3.26 update. With support rich text, this is actually Markdown with emojis. We have italics here, and we have hyperlink embedding. We have a page for frequently asked questions. So we can push new users here to look at frequently asked questions. A page dedicated to resources, so any GIS related or QGIS related resources, we can put them here for people to see and use. Like I have for here the current official QGIS Style Hub. This one's a fun one. This is the showcase where people can showcase their various maps and fun stuff that they do with QGIS. And I have my QGIS freestyle map that is fairly large image, so it takes a little while to load. Then we have general chat, where we can chat about pretty much anything and anything. This is generally unrelated messages. This is to keep the support channel clear from random chit chat so people can get the help they need. We got custom emoji support that I recently uploaded, courtesy of the unofficial QGIS Discord server. Then over here in the support, we've got help for all people's help and needs with QGIS, using QGIS questions about what they need to do. And we have a specific dedicated channel for help with Python with QGIS. And another thing is it does have full Code support. Do Python. Do a little quick demo here. Import this core. Right. We have syntax highlighting for various languages, which is a very nice feature. I have a section here for QGIS Open Day. Right now, we just have a topic suggestions where people can suggest topics for the Open Day. Eventually, when Revolt does get the video chat feature, an idea would possibly be to actually host the QGIS Open Days here. That's for down the road. We have a section for developers.
Ready.
So we got a section here for the core QGIS development. And by core developers, I'm not referring to the core devs like Nile, but anyone who's working on the QGIS core. This is going to be primarily C++ stuff. This one is optional whether we want to have or not. This is a chat for QGIS enhancement proposals. If we wanted to have a room to talk about these outside of the GitHub chat thread for the QEP, and a chat dedicated for plugin development. It's primarily Python. We have a section here for the project steering committee. They have a nice place to chat. Right now, there are permissions set up, so those with the PSC member role can use this chat and text and type and do all sorts of stuff, but the general public only has read-only access to this chat. We can change that if requested. And this is part of the whole role-based permissions thing. And fun off-topic stuff. Because the internet and memes and other stuff, we have this place for all the fun memes and idiotic random nonsense to keep it clear from the other chats. And we have an internal one for moderators to discuss moderation issues and stuff for internally for bots. So that is presently the layout of this community. Things are subject to change as suggestions are made. Everything is very customizable and configurable. We can change roles if things don't work well. We can rename rooms, add more rooms as necessary. But we wanted to try and keep it simple for now, and we can expand as we need later. So now, if anyone has any questions.
Awesome stuff. We have a couple of comments and just general questions from the live chat that I will read out a few of. And then whoever's in the room is welcome to also ask a question. I think the first comment is from Giorgio. And this does look really usable. And yes, emojis, cat stickers too, which I appreciated. All right, so there are a couple of questions. And I think this one is quite pertinent. For the setup of the different groups, right? There may be a problem that many people are asking questions, but they're not sure what group to ask them in because either they're new, etc. So how would they know what topic or what group to ask in?
Well, generally, most help can start in the general QGIS support or help. If they come in and ask questions in general, we can either guide them to the help, or if it's something quick, we can just answer it there. It is new, and from what I've seen in other communities is that use stuff like even Discord. It happens. People don't see or notice the list of rooms on the side, so they don't know quite where to ask things. Usually just a little bit of exploration and seeing it. You can usually find the appropriate place to ask a question. Most of the time, especially for new users, it's probably going to be in the general QGIS help channel.
Alrighty. So Joe Rose says, I like the sound of this a lot. Would we be able to create forums for ourselves? I work in town planning as a GIS techie, and the forum and the other authorities would be amazing for me to use. Deep dive into how to make your own.
Yeah, you can make your own server. It's not that hard. They do try to make it easy. Right now, Revolt still is in beta, so it's the whole creation and management of things is not quite fully polished, as is Discord. If you want something personal and private, you can easily set up your own if you want. You can even use Discord for that if you want.
Brilliant stuff. I see Nabataz asks, does the platform support full search in the topics and posts?
Yes.
Brilliant stuff. Furio Sentu says, while he personally likes the name Idiot Box, he suggests maybe we can call it Meme Corner or Meme Box, but we can discuss this further on the Revolt.
Yeah. It was just a suggestion. I actually took that from another Discord server that I'm a part of. They had it called Idiot Box. Yeah, I personally like the name, but it can be changed if requested. It's not hard to change.
Awesome. Then Gaming Mods Kenya, hi Gaming Mods Kenya, asks how about adding community specific rooms, especially for official groups? Is that where we're going?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. I think I was discussing that with Alexander. We were talking, we had the idea of having separate rooms for the official user groups and individual rooms for various languages. The issue, not really the issue, but the thing that we would want before those rooms are created is we need a mod, at least one, preferably 2 mods per room of those, especially if it's not in English. Because I personally only know English, so I wouldn't be able to moderate any other language room. So we would need moderators that natively know those languages to be able to properly moderate them before they are created. If we have people who would volunteer to moderate them, then we can set that up. But that was a discussion that we had, and it is something that we can do in the near future.
Awesome, brilliant stuff. I'm going to open it up to the Jitsi room because that was all the comments in the live chat. So does anyone in the room have any questions? Do remember to unmute yourself.
Hi. What are is the invite to the room currently publicly available, or how do we get into?
In fact, let me actually move the slide over to the next slide with all that wonderful info.
That's the same question just came through on the live chat. How do you find the QGIS server?
So right now, Revolt does have a public discover option that we could submit the QGIS server to be publicly searchable in their list of servers. Because this was still being built, we did not do that at that time. We can do that if we would like to. Make it fully public so people can search for it. In fact, I can actually show where that would be. Head back over to Revolt. So there's a section here called Discover Revolt. And you can actually search for publicly discoverable servers here. Currently, the QGIS server is not on this list, but we can submit it to be added to this list. But as of now, would just be able to add directly via this second QGIS Revolt invite link. Once you create your account, you can use this invite link down below here, or this easy QR code, to then join the QGIS server.
Brilliant stuff.
And these
these
invite links, these invite links and stuff will be added to Telegram, to Matrix, to the unofficial Discord server. If someone could post them on the Facebook group, that'd be great.
Sure.
Just slather this all over. If someone wants to just rent a billboard and just put this on the highways.
How to get people to text and drive. Ooh, look, click, click. No, that is fantastic. It's very interesting to see that it's open source, etc. Would that mean that at some point we could add, sort of some of our own custom functionality if we wanted it as the QGIS community?
So it can be easily extended through bots. The core functionality of Revolt is a chat platform. If you want to extend things past that, want to have any glitzy features and stuff, like if you want to have a bot, for instance, that you can just type a command to either bring up or just search the either the official documentation or the cookbook or the PyQGIS documentation, you can write a bot. The API is available. There are several bots available. And there even is a guide to migrating Discord bots over to Revolt. So that is something that can be done if people are interested in doing web dev with JavaScript or TypeScript.
All right. And then for Revolt specifically, is there, I know you said it was fully available on GitHub, but is there some documentation? I know some people are interested in implementing this in their own work environment. So where can they find that stuff?
There is documentation. Let me bring it up. So here is the Revolt site. It is revolt.chat. And we have a link down here to the GitHub website. So this is where everything is on their GitHub. There's developer documentation. There is self-hosted, deploy Docker, blah, blah. So here is documentation for self-deployment. It is still experimental, but it is here. So that is available. There is also official documentation on the website. Just floating around somewhere. Documentation. Here we are. Documentation. So we have stuff that, for instance, frequently asked questions. We have stuff here. We have documentation on libraries, the interfaces and stuff. It still is work in progress. They do not recommend the self-hosted. They prefer to keep everything on the one instance, but if you desire to do a self-hosted, it is there and it can be found on the GitHub.
Cool. And then I wanted to ask, because we were talking about moderators for the groups, etc. Have we thought about how we would get those moderators? Because, I mean, of course, people could volunteer, but is there a screening process, or what kind of was the thought process behind that?
It would probably be whatever is currently being used on the active platforms like Matrix, IRC, or Telegram. I did reach out to several of the moderators on the Telegram to try and get moderators on the Revolt platform before we actually had this, so we had moderators in place before just opening the floodgates.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cool. I don't see any other questions in the live chat. I do encourage you to put your last minute questions for Ethan in there. And if there are Alrighty, so there are a couple of people who are already joined the group and have clicked several emojis, dogs with closed eyes apparently. So that sounds like fun. I think it'll be quite novel getting used to the environment that's different. But I think it'll be very nice to have a more organized sort of communication platform. I do agree that there may be some confusion perhaps with new members who are not sure where to post, but that's what the general channel is for, I believe.
Yeah, we could always point people to the right direction. And part of the rules is to not be rude. So if there is someone who does post in the wrong chat, don't be rude. So kindly either steer them into the right room, but don't be rude.
Then how elephants, clouds, oh my goodness, everyone's going crazy. I wanted to ask, because there are several different chats in different rooms, etc., how will the people, the gurus who have all the knowledge, will they have to go into each room to perhaps help with the questions that are asked in those rooms? Because yes. I think that could be a bit of a sticking point.
Well, the one thing that with how the rooms are broken down, you have general help, and then you have specifically for Python or PyQGIS, and usually those people who are knowledgeable in those areas will help out in those areas. Like for instance, if someone is very knowledgeable in everything but Python, they can just chill in the regular help. But if someone who is good with Python and knows the QGIS Python API well, they can go and help others in that Python chat room. And then for people like Niall, who's a key core QGIS developer, he can help people in the core development chat room with C++ and various core development. So yes, it is a little scattered in a way there, especially if someone is multifaceted and helps out in multiple areas, having to keep jump. But I found through other servers and communities that this isn't really much of a problem.
And as a member of the group, will you be able to see all of the chats? So say I'm not really, my programming's not up there, I'm not going to be making plugins, etc. Would I still be able to see the plugin room, or would I have to be invited into that specific one?
You can see the rooms. I do believe for the most part, all but the internal rooms are viewable to the public at least. Rooms like the PSC chat, that is read only to the public. But if you have the PSC role, then you can go in and send messages, links, files, and whatnot. I think currently what we have for the core dev, the plugin dev, is you have to have the core dev role and the plugin dev role to chat. We can change that. In fact, I probably will change that and remove those. But the original idea behind it was not to have a giant Badger Nile session. Just that everyone pinging Nile all day, every day, asking him, hey, can you please fix my bug? Please fix this, please fix that, or do this, do that. So it was, yeah, at least that was the idea behind putting that role restriction on those particular development rooms. Those can be lifted or changed as we see fit.
Brilliant. I see another good question coming in from Nabaz Karib. And he asks, is there a mobile application available for this platform?
There is an Android application available. iOS right now is still stuck on the using web application. There is desktop applications for Windows. I do believe also for Mac and for Linux. You can always access it in the browser through the web app. That's actually how I usually use it on my computer. Well, at least on my work computer. It's through the web app. On my phone, I have the app, and on Linux, I have the app. So it is accessible everywhere, at the very least, through a web app.
All right. Brilliant stuff. Cool. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all the questions, unless anyone else in the room has one. If you've typed into, I should probably check if anyone's typed a comment in the comments box. Nope. Then I don't know, Ethan, if you have any last minute questions for the community, to ask them what they think or what they think they might need from this specific platform. You know, we've set up this thing and I think you've done a fantastic job, but perhaps there's a chat room for, I don't know, baking recipes that people think we really need. So I think it'd be great if, you know, the community does get involved. I think, you know, Ethan, you've built a fantastic base program for us to use, but it's now sort of hand over to everyone to test it out, see what works, see what doesn't work. So do you have any questions for everyone here?
Not really questions, but more like requests. Please use it. Hop on, use it, test it out, look at it. If you do find a bug, please go to the Revolt GitHub and either file a bug if it report if it's not already there. And if you have any suggestions in terms of rooms, what you would like to see, any requests, especially for custom emojis. We are able to use custom. Oh, that is one thing I did forget. I wanted to show how to enable emojis because it's still work in progress, but was stable enough to release as an experimental feature. Let me switch over and show that.
Oh, yes, please. We need emojis in our lives.
Yeah, so everyone needs to be able to use emojis. Lots and lots of emojis. So by default, and you'll have to do this on each platform that I do believe you have to do this on each individual platform that you log into. Over in the settings, which is usually in the bottom left, you can go to the experiments part here and enable custom emojis. In fact, I don't even have it enabled here. So let me show you right now what it looks like. If I go over to general chat, you will see that like other familiar chat, there is nothing over here on this side with an emoji for using emojis. And to get that, settings, experiments, custom emojis. This will enable the work in progress emoji picker and custom emoji settings. And look at that, we have an emoji. Click on that and we have our emojis. And a featured paywall of Discord is not being able to use emojis from other communities unless you pay for the premium Nitro membership. But here in Revolt, you have full access to other community emojis. So I'm just going to hit this giant emoji. And right now, it does look a little messy. That's still work in progress. Voila. There is our wonderful QGIS thumbs up custom emoji. You can also type for it directly. You should. Oh, okay, that's not there yet. Still work in progress. Okay. Oh, it did go away. Okay. QGIS heart. There we go. So that is how you enable custom emojis. Let's see, there's no GIFs. Right now, there is no embedded GIF thing. Some platforms.
I was about to ask, what is like the media options? Like, can I send videos? Can I send GIFs?
Yes.
Okay.
You can send QGIS files. You can send geo packages, zip files. I would highly recommend zipping a shape file before uploading it, because no one wants to have to download all 15 parts of a shape file. Slight exaggeration there.
Only just a little. All right, but it's so cool to see everyone starting to interact and pop emojis on, and yeah. In the live chat, I see that there are just a bunch of thanks. I see from Farao, from Hans van der Kwast, from Giorgio, from Raymond. Hi, Raymond. And yeah, this is absolutely awesome, and I just encourage everybody to go and have some fun and test it out. And I think this is going to be our main chat / help / community platform from here on. I think it's been a little bit scattered, for want of a better word, previously, but I think, that's how these things grow. They grow organically. You do what works for a while, and then you have someone like Ethan who comes along and makes something amazing. So thank you so much.
I actually do have one final thing. You did remind me of something. Well, a couple things I've heard when talking around is, what about the existing platforms? Is Telegram going to go away? Is Matrix going to go away? In the immediate future, no. Telegram will still exist. The Facebook group will still exist. IRC, mailing lists. The existing platforms will still exist. This did actually go before the PSC, the QGIS Project Steering Committee, and they want to see how well the reception of this platform is, and eventually down the road, if this does get a large enough reception, they will actually give it full official status, put it on the website as the official, or at least one of the big main official community platforms. And maybe way down the road, things like Telegram, Matrix, IRC, mailers, those may fade away, but it's not like, September 1st, Telegram's gone. No, they are still going to be around, but we encourage people to come over to Revolt, use Revolt, come to this community and use it.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah, I think generally that's how things work. You organically move over to whatever's working best. So, and I think this is a really great start for just it's more like a community vibe. I feel like as useful as Telegram is, it's one long string message, whereas this is definitely more of a community platform, and I'm pleased to see it. Awesome. I think that is everything. Our comments have stopped. Are there any more comments in the room? Unmute now.
Or forever hold your peace.
Alrighty, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Ethan. This is absolutely fantastic. Of course, we will add the links that you need to the recording of this session, and of course, they'll be put out on all the social media channels that we can think of, and more. So thank you, everyone, for joining our session. Please do join in the next session. It's in about 15 minutes. And it's generally for beginner QGIS users to understand coordinate reference systems. Remember, in a previous beginner session, there was a lot of confusion. So I've roped in Gavin Fleming, who is a total guru on CRS systems. So please do join in for that session. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Brilliant stuff. All right, stream ended.